Get that paper, told that Glock, that's how we live. Yeah, my life's a game, I pray I don't get killed. They can't believe I got the guap, this shit for real. Can't accept the fact my brother gone, I wanna kill. Yeah, I can't go for that shit don't sit right. Instead of capping to the old nigga, I know what you live like. Ain't worried about all, just fuck these hoes and live life. I go on the drill, I'm smart enough, you got no.
We return to our story to see that both Isagi and UCHIHA have been invited to participate in the U20 World Cup for Japan. In fact, it seems that they were both boarding a flight as we speak. Seeing them sit down once more, Isagi notices that he's gotten a text from an unknown number. Just who could that be? Reading it, it says to call him once he lands in Japan. Isagi, not sure, goes to sleep on this flight, being awoken by the flight attendant and Sai to get off the plane. But he goes to call this unknown number, and at first it rings, but then a voice is heard. "Hey there, Isagi. It's been a while, hasn't it?" "Who is this? Don't you recognize my voice?" "Well, I suppose you were a lot younger the last time you may have heard it. But why don't we end things for good?" Isagi had flashbacks to that day, uttering his grandfather's name, and he sprints off to the nearest driver, getting in and now heading back to the Uchiha clan estate. Arriving in no time, Isagi heads that way to find nothing. Looking around, he's in attack but dodges it, jumping back to see a man standing across from him with a mask. "Just who are you? Tell me something, Isagi. Was my brother so selfish that he never told you of his younger brother?" Taking off his mask, revealing that this was Isagi's uncle. But Isagi didn't even know he had one, nor had his father or grandfather ever spoke of him. Obito looks towards Isagi. "Do you know how much pain your father has caused me? Taking my wife, my company, everything was stolen from me and I was casted to the side. And now I'll take the last thing he has in this world. You." Obito rushes forward. However, Isagi is able to defend himself. Running from Obito, he's able to click his phone that was in his pocket, and spinning around a corner, he then lands a punch. Obito takes it head on and then throws Isagi into another room. "That's it. Show me more of your hate. You should have heard your mother's screams." Isagi gets angry and slams himself into his uncle. "Shut up already." This causes Obito to smile, pushing him off and then punching him in the face over and over again. Isagi is pushed to the edge, where it looks like he has no hope. Obito then holds him against a wall, slowly choking the life out of him. "Die here and now." Loud noises are then heard as Isagi is dropped to the ground suddenly. Obito looks to his left and then tries to run with his arm bleeding, but then two more shots go off as they hit his legs. Ray Dark would then step from the shadow, telling his men to stop as they would hold their guns. Walking over to see the beaten Isagi, he looks down. "Stand up." Isagi gathers himself slowly, and now they both stand over Obito. Ray Dark hands Isagi a gun and then points his arm at Obito's head. "The decision is yours to make, so what will you do?" Isagi looks at him, wondering what he should do right here. Obito looks up with hatred pouring from his red eyes as well. Isagi's, he had his own anger that he hasn't gotten over just yet. So, as his finger slips towards the trigger, he hears a familiar voice. "No, that's not the way." Isagi looks up, almost seeing the ghost of his father and mother. His father tells him to be better than both himself and his brother, to stop the bloodshed within their clan. Isagi watches them then fade away with tears bursting from his eyes. He then hands the gun back to Ray Dark, telling him to imprison him, but make sure that he has to watch every moment of football that Isagi plays until he rots in that cell. Ray Dark looks down at the man with a smile and has his men take him away. It's later broadcasted in the news, and Isagi's name is cleared, regaining his true citizenship within Japan, as he's now ready to join the U20 Japan team. The story truly begins to take place as we see each player being gathered to support Japan's effort in their crusade to a World Cup. With their team soon being assembled, each player has to get used to playing with each other and in the first couple of practices, it was difficult to make a formation that would form around Isagi. It's not that he wasn't a good teammate, it's the fact that some of the midfielders couldn't keep up with him because of the way he moved around the pitch, as well as his shot positioning. Isagi had entered a new realm of focus, thanks to the truth being revealed to him. He could now play with a clear headspace, enjoying football for what it truly is. The stage was set for a thrilling World Cup campaign as Japan, led by Isagi, faced a series of tough opponents on their quest for glory. As from the beginning, Isagi's prowess on the field was evident, with his incredible speed, agility, and vision making him stand out within each match. The Sharingan enhanced Isagi's perception and reaction times to superhuman levels, allowing him to read the game with uncanny precision. This gave him a strategic edge over some of his opponents, enabling him to anticipate their moves before they could even make them. Combined with his exceptional technical skills, Isagi's Sharingan was a game changer, turning the tide in Japan's favor time and time again. As Japan navigated through the group stages and knockout rounds, they faced formidable opponents such as England, USA, Canada, and even Brazil, as each match was its own test of stamina, skill, and mental fortitude. But Isagi, as well as Itoshi Sai, rose to the occasion time and time again, inspiring their teammates with how good that they played together. Their ability to turn the tide of the game when working together was incredible. It's almost as if it was always meant for these two to play together. But now, Japan marched towards the final of the World Cup. As in the grand finale, Japan found themselves against Germany, led by Michael Kaiser, a renowned tactician and physical powerhouse of a striker on the field. And the clash soon began between Isagi and Kaiser, as it was a battle of wits and wills, with both of them pushing themselves to the very limit of what they could do in pursuit of victory. As a whistle draws near and the score was deadlocked, it was a moment for Isagi to truly shine. Everything began to slow down for him, with the ball at his feet and the hopes of a nation resting on his shoulders. He summoned the power of his final technique, Indra's arrow, just one last time. With Kaiser still being locked onto his shoulder, he's still able to pull off the move. And the stadium held its breath as Isagi unleashed a thunderous strike that sailed past the keeper and Kaiser into the net, sealing Japan's historic World Cup triumph in dramatic fashion. As with a win like this, his uncle was forced to watch within his cell, angered more than ever, with Ray Dark smiling in his own office. It seems as if the world of football is now in our hands. As he looks back at the screen to see Isagi being lifted up by his teammates and the celebration soon beginning, as the confetti rained down on the pitch, with Michael Kaiser grabbing his neck and his tattoo, angry, with foam coming out of his mouth. He hated every moment of this. But we see that Noel Noah was in the stands, watching, as he looks towards Isagi, focusing on him in those eyes. Continue growing, Isagi, as those eyes may one day even lead you right to me. But when that time comes, I'll crush you. And you'll feel the same fate as you've given Kaiser. Noel Noah would be seen leaving the stadium with no one even noticing him. But we would also see another man within the stadium, as that was Jinpachi Ego, who was clutching his fist, excited that the new era of strikers, well, it was proving to be very useful for Japan. Even though Isagi truly wasn't his own creation, he did help to nurture his talents, so that's a win in his own book for him. Isagi looked around, smiling more than ever. He did it. They did it. They won a World Cup. As soon as they would walk towards the trophy, it would all hit him, as tears began raining down his face. But he was smiling. He was happy, only wishing his father and mother were here to see it and share the moment with him. But he knew they were watching somewhere. So, he continued to play and level up. That way, he could make them proud in every aspect of his life. As this is where our story concludes.